So I was recently asked how to create keys for curved surfaces for 3D printing. So we can, register 2 points and then align them up to each other. So I'm going to take this character here with his legs and his wings and just use him as an example. He currently has Dynamesh turned on, so he's Dynamesh to quite a high resolution, but that doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Control and Shift, which will bring me to our selection brushes, and then from there I'm going to change that selection brush to a slice curve. So once you click on that, a slice curve, when you hold down Control and Shift and tap on your canvas, will give you a curve. If you, while holding down Control and Shift, you tap Alt once, it will put a bend in that curve. Every time you press Alt, you'll get a new bend. And if you press Alt twice in succession very quickly, you'll get a sharp bend. So we can create any kind of curves we like here. Even while we still have this held down, we can press space and move this anywhere that we want until we're actually happy with its final location. I'm going to take this off the model for the moment because I actually don't want to slice it using this curve. I'm just going to start again. So I'll press Shift F just to check that it hasn't had any effect. And this time I'm going to chop off his leg. So I'm just going to press Alt and I'm going to move that curve into a position that actually makes sense. So just for the sake of exaggeration, I'm going to make this curve a little bit stronger than I normally would, just for the purposes of this. So you'll see once we do this, it doesn't actually change the look of the geometry. All it's actually doing is changing polygroups, is adding a new polygroup. So you'll see this curve now goes all the way through the leg and creates a new polygroup. But that curve also continued infinitely in both directions where I didn't draw the curve. So we want to fix that. So I'll press Control and Shift again and I'll swap back to our select rectangle. And this time I'll Control Shift click on my new object. Because this is separate to this and this, we can separate the polygroups on that very easily by going over to our polygroups and hitting Auto Groups. That will take every object that is an independent object that isn't attached to anything and give it its own polygroup. So by Control Shift tapping on the canvas, we can now bring everything back, and I want this to be separate to everything else, so I just need to Control Shift click on that once, twice, and press Control W to make everything else one polygroup. Control Shift tap will bring everything back, so we now have 2 different polygroups. I can turn off the line fill on this just to show you what that looks like. So that leg is now quite a severe curve on it, and hopefully this will demonstrate what we need to do. So if we go back up to geometry, and this time we'll turn on groups for Dynamesh, and when we do that, the next time we do a Dynamesh operation by anywhere to. So that's done. I'll just turn on the line fill so you can see. If I Control Shift click on this, you can see that that is now filled with that curve, and Control Shift dragging will show me the inverse, which is this, which is also filled with that curve. When I Control Shift tap to bring the two back together, you can see that together you barely see a difference that they're there. So now we need to key this the same way that we did with the 3D print. So I'm going to go to another subtool. I will make a Polymesh 3D, go down to the end, excuse the UI refresh problem down here. I'll go to initialize and I'll hit quick cube, and that will make this into a cube. So I will press now shift, actually, do you know what, I'll just press W to go into move mode, and I'll convert this into a polycube. Once we do that, we can press F to zoom in. If that doesn't have the right amount of divisions on it, just use these sliders to bring it back to 1 and 1 on both sides, or on all sides rather. Once that's done, we press W again, we click on the little gear icon, and we'll hit taper. So from the taper, I'm going to just taper this in from the top, something that might look like a 3D registration key. Once we're happy with it, we click the gear icon again and we'll hit accept. So this is now our male part, but we need a male and female part. So this could be the female part actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. So we know duplicated that. I'll press W to go into our move mode again. I'll bring this down to the base. I'm holding down Alt while I drag that down. And if I turn on transparency over here, you can see as I make this smaller, we can see how big this is inside the previous cube. So that's the female part, the larger one, and the male part is the smaller one. So we can squash this in a little bit on both sides just to make sure it absolutely fits inside. Once we have them, we might as well join them back together again. So I'm going to just merge this down. I'll hit merge down and I'll call this key. So this contains both parts at the moment. So once that's done, we might as well create an insert mesh brush. It makes it much easier to assign. So I'll just look at this from a top view because it will draw it out the way you want it to. So we want the bottom to be drawn out first and the top at the top rather. So we just hit create insert mesh. We create a new brush and you'll see we have a new brush with key written on it. So from there we can go back to our original subtool. I'll press F to frame everything because we were zoomed in. I'll turn off transparency mode. And I now want to separate these two objects out. So I'm going to hold Control Shift and tap on one. That's the object, and I'll split the hidden one. So I'll go over to split and say split hidden. That now creates two different polygroups, one for the body, one for the leg. I'll rename this leg and rename this one body. Sorry for the whistling. So with that I can go into solo mode. I'll take the body first and we still have our key brush selected, so I'll just drag out a key. Maybe that's a little bit big, something like this. Now remember that this is going to be the female part, so whether you want to draw this on the bottom or the top is up to you depending on where you want to go. But I'm going to push this slightly inside the body just to make sure that we actually have this as a registration. And now because the body is still masked while it's like this, we can just go down here and say we want to split unmasked points. That will create a new subtool for the body. I'm in solo mode here. I'll just come back up here and I will hide the extra parts like the leg, for example, and the branch. So with the body selected, we have the keys, which I can rename now, but they're still made up of two parts, but those two parts have the same polygroup. So we need to go down to polygroups, say auto groups, and once we've done that, when we Control Shift and click on one, you'll see that the other one is behind it. So Control Shift tap to bring them back. So what I want to do is Control Shift and click on one, and then I want to split the hidden one. So I'll go back to subtool, split hidden, and that will create the larger piece here and the separate one as a separate piece underneath, which we can see here. So the smaller one is the male one because that will be inserted. So I'll rename this to male. The larger one is the female one. So I'll rename this to female. And now with the female, we need to cut that out of the leg and we need to add the male to the body. So male to body, female, I'll go move this up in the subtool list until it's underneath the leg, and we'll say we make that a negative. So when we have the leg, which is here, I'm going to hide the body for the moment. We have the female that goes down inside that, and we'll cut inside that. And then if I turn these two off and we look at the body, which has the male part, this part will then intersect that. So all we need to do now is create the Boolean meshes. So I'll turn all four objects on. We'll turn on a Boolean for the leg first, which will subtract this female part. Then we'll turn on the Boolean for the body. This is telling us that we now want to start from here down, and on this one we want to add the male part. So all we have to do is let's go down to Boolean, and we have to turn on live Boolean up here, obviously. So once we turn that on, this will no longer be grayed out, and it will go down through this list looking at the top one, adding or subtracting anything underneath until it finds the next start point, and then add or subtract anything underneath. If they're not turned on or not visible, it will ignore them. So this is enough for us to get the make Boolean mesh to work. So we click on this, it will create a new subtool up here with two subtools, one for the body and one for the leg, which we'll see here. And if we isolate either of these by going into solo mode, you can see that the male now has, or the female part, right, the leg has that hole in it, and the corresponding male part, the body. If I hide that leg, if we look at the body, that has the male part that will fit inside that. So that's how to create it on a curved surface. It kind of doesn't matter that this is on a curved surface because these keys will still line up, and the only problem really is creating that initial curve in the first place, but they do line up perfectly. Hope this helps, and as usual, please do click subscribe if you like it, or like or comment, and let me know whether it was useful to you or not. Thank you. Bye.